Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. In this video we'll study market equilibrium. We'll study interaction between demand side and supply side. Equilibrium position includes three terms: equilibrium point, equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity. And we can study equilibrium position by using equation if we have demand equation and supply equation. And we can study equilibrium position by using schedules if we have demand schedule and supply schedule, or by using curves if we have demand curve and supply curve. First, if we have equations, if we have equation like quantity demanded equals to 100 minus 5b and the quantity supplied equals to 40 plus 3b, if we solve the two equations together, we can find equilibrium price, and we substitute in demand or in supply equation to find equilibrium quantity. Very easy one, as you studied before in ECON 140. Why? Because at equilibrium both are equal. I mean quantity demand equals to quantity supplied. So by using equation, very easy one, you study this one in ECON 140 and easy one. Sorry. By using schedule, if we have demand schedule and supply schedule, like this one, we have price here for demand and for supply, because the same good, just one good, I mean. So we have quantity demand and quantity supplied, and at equilibrium quantity demand equals to quantity supplied. So at price of 80, consumers plan to buy 1,400 and the producers plan to supply 1,400. So this equilibrium position. So equilibrium quantity is 1,400 and the equilibrium price is 80. At equilibrium price 80, both will demand and supply 1,400. So equilibrium quantity is equilibrium quantity demanded and equilibrium quantity supplied. By using curves, we have this shape. We have demand curve and supply curve. Demand curve is downward and supply curve is upward. For sure, consumers wants to buy lots of the good at lowest price. So consumers wants to reach minimum point at our own demand curve. On the other side, supply or producers wants to sell lots of goods at highest price. So there is a conflict between them. So after many negotiation, they will reach to the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity. They will agree to sell and buy the equilibrium quantity at the equilibrium price. Assume, for example, from the table, equilibrium is 80 and the equilibrium quantity is 1,400. So after negotiations, consumers agree to buy 1,400 at 80. At the same time, producers agree to sell 1,400 quantity at 80. So there is agreement between them, and they accept equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity after negotiation. So we have here equilibrium point, intersected point between demand and supply curves, and we have equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. So first we determine equilibrium point determine first, and then from this equilibrium point we can determine equilibrium price and we can determine equilibrium quantity. Demand curve, supply curve. Now we look at shortage and surplus. Short means quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. Surplus is quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded. We can determine shortage and surplus states by using schedules and curves, as well as by using equations. So if we have this table, at equilibrium price 80, quantity demand equals to quantity supplied. So we haven't shortage or surplus. But at any price greater than equilibrium price, greater than 80 in this example, at 100 for example, or at 120, quantity demanded is less than quantity supplied. If the price is greater than equilibrium, price higher than, better for supplier, but not good for consumers. So supplier will supply more, but consumers will demand less. So quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded, so we have surplus in the market. Quantity supplied is greater than, exceeds the quantity demand, so we have surplus. So if the price is greater than equilibrium price, we have surplus. And on the other side, if we have price less than 80, less than equilibrium price, we find that quantity demand is greater than quantity supplied. Why? Because if price decreases, it's better for the consumers, so consumers will demand more, and not good for the producers, so producer will supply less. So we have three cases here. At equilibrium price, no surplus, no shortage. We have equilibrium. But at any price greater than equilibrium, we have surplus. At any price less than equilibrium, we have shortage. By using schedules. By using curve, the same. At equilibrium price, we have equilibrium, no shortage, no surplus. But at any price greater than equilibrium, we have surplus. At any price less than equilibrium price, we have shortage. And you can find this one if we have equation. We can solve the two equations together to find equilibrium price, and we can take price greater than equilibrium price to find that equilibrium quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded, and we take another price less than equilibrium price to find that at this price less than equilibrium we have shortage, because quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. So we can determine shortage and surplus. Next time, inshallah, we'll study the effect of change in demand, change in supply, and change in both of them on equilibrium position. Thank you, and have a nice time. Thanks.